Hello, homeschool moms. Today I want to give you a look inside the Writing Strands Intermediate 1 curriculum from Master Books. This is one that I purchased with my own money. This video is not sponsored. I just wanted to share it with you. Actually, I didn't originally plan on sharing much about Writing Strands with you, but as I've talked about using it, so many of you have asked for a better look inside how the curriculum is laid out and how it works. So when you guys ask about something, I try to do my best to make it happen and get a video out to you. So the reason we went with Writing Strands this year was that with my 7th grader, we really were lacking two things in her curriculum. We needed writing and we needed literature. And then I needed it to be affordable. And this Writing Strands from Master Books fit the bill. It has writing, it has literature, and it was affordable. And so that's why we went with it, and it has been working really well. Now, one of the great things about some of the books from Master Books is that you can really easily tear out the pages and it's already hole punched for you. And so I already tore out part of the pages, and so I'm going to have to pull this over here. This is my daughter's binder to kind of show you what I pulled out. So one of the great things about Master Books again is that it has lesson plans already laid out for your student so they can work independently. And my daughter's been able to work through this, not completely independently, because as you'll see, there are spots in the curriculum where it says to discuss with your teacher and things like that, and I'll show you that. But for the most part, she can open this up. She knows what week she is on and what day she's on. It tells her what she is supposed to do. She can turn there, and if she needs my help, she can come get me and ask me. I don't put the date that it's due. She just goes ahead and checks off whenever she completes it. And then these are my really sloppy initials, sometimes even initialing upside down across the table from her, but that just means that I checked her work. So when she's done, as you can see, I didn't check the last 3 days of work. Oops, I need to go do that. But just reality here, right? I'm not always on top of everything. So then I do mark it off my initials so that I know that I've checked her work, but I don't give her a grade for this. But anyways, let me just flip through. So it's all laid out, you guys, for you. So you don't have to do any of that lesson planning. So that's really great. So I ripped those out and put those into her binder. And then I go ahead and she does her writing and then puts the completed writing assignments behind that tab and the reading ones behind here, because there is writing and there is reading or literature, and it rotates back and forth. So as you can see here, week 1 was a writing assignment, week 2 was a reading, week 3 writing, week 4 was reading, and rotates back and forth. The other thing that we did pull out here is this helpful terms worksheets here. And what I am doing with her is every day we are just going over kind of one term and talking about what it means, and then we go ahead and put a little dot there to say that we did it. We're almost through working. What am I trying to say here? When we get through all of these, we will go back and do them again and again, because I figure repetition, the more she does it, the more she'll understand these terms. So we do add that in. We go over one each day, roughly. Some days I don't have time to do it with her, so then she just skips that. She knows that when she's done with her lesson here, she'll ask me, hey mom, do you have time to do this? And if I do, we do it. And if we don't, we don't. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. Let me flip over here and kind of show you, I put a little tab here, what a lesson looks like. So here is lesson 6. So this is the writing lesson, the 6th writing lesson. And this is one day. And this is actually more, so far, most of the instructions have been on one page. So this is, I think, one of a few, or at least one of the few that I have seen that it's been on 2 pages. But so on day 51, one day, she's just reading through this. And if it says to talk to me about something, then, we'll talk about that. What I love is that it has the objectives here for them, so they know exactly what they need to learn in this lesson. But this is one day just kind of reading through that and doing whatever it says. This is day 52, so this is one day. It says you are to finish this very short story about training the dog owner. And so here's, you must stay in first person, and the narrative voice must remain limited to what the dog character narrative voice could know. And that's the assignment for day, the second day. It would be day 52, but the second day of writing. The second day of writing. The third day of writing for this week, here is the assignment right here. Right, the fourth day, they're going to be using this sheet to write their dog story. So this is the worksheet, and the instructions of what they need to do are over here. And then this would be the fifth day for writing for this week. And they would just read through here, and it looks like it says, talk to your teacher about the difference in the narrative voice, in the narrative voices in each story. And so this would be something that we would work together. And then the end of each week's writing lesson, there is this student progress report to fill out. And so that's at the end of each writing lesson. Then we flip over, and then next week she'd be doing the sixth reading lesson. And so here we say this would be day 56, but it's the first day of this new week. And here's the objective. She's going to be learning about exposition in plots and the other things that she's going to be doing. So here's kind of what she's going to be learning. She'd read through that. There's a discussion question. So far, most of the weeks, it does have them write the name and author of the book that they're going to be reading for this week. And so they are kind of supposed to be reading a book a week. So the second day of this week, they're going to be doing a Bible passage. And this is kind of how it typically is for the reading lesson. There's a lesson on the first day. The second day, they're doing a Bible passage. And then the third day, they're doing more about usually, I believe, the Bible passage that they read. Then the next day, this is an activity. And then the last day is they're going to read and discuss the assigned book that they had just read for that week. So that's kind of how it's laid out. You can see now we're back to a writing lesson. So there'd be a week of writing, and it would look like this. And there's the student progress report that you have at the end of every writing lesson. And then we are back to a reading lesson. Here's the instructions. Here's the Bible passage. And then here's the one for the book that they read for that week on their own. So that's kind of how it's set up. In the back of the book, that's the last thing I want to point out to you. In the back of the book, there are answer keys for the reading assignments. So the writing assignments, you would have to kind of grade on your own. I want to do one more thing and just take you to the Master Books website, because I've gotten some questions about this, about how do I know which level to put my student in. And then also I want to show you that there is some additional resource that you can use with the Writing Strands. Here is the last thing that I wanted to show you. I'm on the Master Books website, and I wanted to show you a couple things on here. One is all of the different writing strands that are available. There's beginning 1 and beginning 2. There is also intermediate 1 and intermediate 2, and I gave you a look at intermediate 1. There is advanced 1 and advanced 2. And then this is what I wanted to show you, actually two things. The placement test here and also the teacher companion guide. So if you are worried about how to actually grade the writing, teach the writing, maybe you think I need a little bit more help for my student than what is actually in this book, then you might want to check out the Writing Strands Teaching Companion. I do not have this, so I don't know exactly what's in it, but definitely go to their website and check it out. They've got a description here, and I believe they have some samples. as well. So yeah, there is a preview that you can click on. So I wanted to show you that. Then I wanted to go back here and show you that if you are wondering where to place your student, like, you know, you don't know, are they in beginning? Should they be in intermediate 1 or 2 or advanced? They do have a placement test that you can take to know where to put your student. So that is really helpful. The other thing that is really helpful on their website is I'm going to click on intermediate 1, and there we go. One of the things that you will see on any of the ones that you any of the levels that you click on is that they do have a Writing Strands scope and sequence. And so you're going to want to check this out. It has the different levels and kind of the skill level or grade, the skills, and the lesson titles for the writing categories. And so this will probably help you to know exactly where to place your, not exactly, but this will help you place your student as well, and also know what is covered in each writing strands. So I wanted to point those two things out to you because I found those really helpful on their website. Anyways, that's a look inside Writing Strands. If you have any questions about it, let me know. Leave them in the comments and I will try to do my best to answer them. This curriculum is very new to us, so we are just starting off and getting familiar with how it works, but so far so good. Again, loved it because it includes writing, it includes reading, and it was affordable. If you've used Writing Strands, let me know your thoughts down in the comments.